Hello and good afternoon. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but here I am. I don't know if anybody's there or anyone's going to even join. It may be a little early for you all. It's 12 o'clock here in France. It's about 11 o'clock in England. Just gone 10 past 12 here. So I'll wait for a few of you to arrive if you arrive. If not, um, I'll go away. Right. Okay. Well, nobody here yet. So, hello to Bluebell. Hello to Blue Morning. Good morning to Chris Wilson. Also, well, good afternoon from here, but good morning to you. And an almighty cheers. It's over the yard arm, as they say. It's past noon, and time for a glass of wine. There we go. Sitting in the garden. Here we are with my seagull behind me. The fledgling seagull is behind me in the neighboring garden. It has been fed its dog food, as the RSPCA recommend, and it seems to be reacting well, though it's hiding under a chair. It's not able to fly, the poor thing, so we are looking after it. Yes, Minnie Thatcher is now its name. It's Minnie Thatcher. So, yes, Minnie Thatcher has had dog food, and it's had milk, and it's had bread, and it's had Pellegrino. It's a big fan of Pellegrino, and obviously, the water, the iron in the minerals in the water will help it. So hopefully, it will be fine. It's safe in that little garden, and it can't escape. And the other birds can't get it when it goes under the chairs. So it's got a good place to be. It can't come in this garden because, unfortunately, this garden doesn't have any gates of any form. So it could easily fall in the water or be attacked or whatever. So, and it doesn't have any hiding places here. So it's better off there. Yes, I'm going to talk about the new search in Portugal. There's 25 of you listed as up there, but there's more of you arriving. So, yes, can it, when it can fly, it will ask to walk and a bone. Oh, will it? Yes, well, I don't know what else we can do with it. One of the neighbors came round, a guardian of one of the streets, and she's a big animal enthusiast, and she's dealt with many of these for many years. So she just said, leave it there and let it get on. And thankfully, the neighbors in the house have gone away, and they won't be back for some time. So it's got a safe space for the moment, as they say. Seek a safe space, or ask for Angela is what they say. And I learned from the Archers the other day. If you're in a bar and you're a lady and you don't feel comfortable with your situation, if you're on a date and you want to get out of it, you go to the bar and you ask the barman or bar lady. You say, "Ask for Angela. Is Angela there?" And they're meant to say, "Oh, okay, I'll come and help you." Basically, that's how it works. Miss Marple thinks Alice will start drinking again in the Archers. I think Miss Marple could be right. I think Alice could get back into trouble in the Archers because I just listened to yesterday's episode in which she took her child to the doctor because she believes that her alcoholism has damaged the child's development, and they won't be able to see anybody for months. So about this child, even though the doctor doesn't think there's a problem, she wants this, and she will get worse and worse because that's her nature of her character, and they need to have a plot, don't they? So Lillian isn't leaving because of Alice as well. So they all thought Lillian was going to leave, but Lillian did not run off to Tiger. But I believe many of the cast of the Archers were at the Hay Festival. I'm going to listen to a podcast about this. They said, the Archers and Hay at Hay. So there was a bit of Hay and Hay at Hay with the Archers, with many of the cast were there, including Lillian's tiger, the naughty Matt Crawford, who stole everything from her and ran off off with the Russians. And they had a little series that was a spin-off with Brenda, the dreaded Brenda, who was a very odd girl. And then they just stopped it, which was a great shame because I quite enjoyed that little spin-off. It was very jolly. I'm a bit of an Archers addict, as you probably know. My friend played Nigel Pargeter, who tragically fell off the roof of his stately home when he was trying to retrieve a flag. Graham Seed and his lovely wife, who runs the Mousetrap. And they also did the play about my friend Gina Miller, and Gina Miller versus Theresa May, and that was a great thing. I've been reading the Sarah Vine nonsense in the Mail. I'll probably read the latest installment later today, but Sarah Vine talking about her bedroom activities and swapping bedrooms is not of any interest to me. And mentioning Michael's aide, Spad, Henry, but not putting his surname was a very cryptic thing. I thought that was a little odd, given he's a very strange person, this Henry. Henry Newman is his name. Don't like him. Don't like Michael Gove. Don't like Sarah Vine. I can't stand any of them. You met with Salman Rushdie at Hay. You were doing live sound with Nicky Wire. I don't know who Nicky Wire is, but Nicky Wire, what an amazing name. Salman Rushdie's son, Zafar, is someone I've been known for many years, and his lovely wife, who's a singer. They're very, very nice people, and he's a successful public relations person. And I don't know Salman Rushdie very well. One of my friends dated Salman Rushdie. She wrote a book called Saint-Tropez, in fact. Aita Ighodaro. It was a novel about Saint-Tropez, basically, and bonking, basically, a bit of a Jilly Cooper in Saint-Tropez. And I helped her do her launch party at my friend's shop in Bond Street, George Jensen. Yes, so my friend was the chairman of George Jensen, and another friend was the PR. So we did a book launch, and we sponsored it, and I organized it, and we had a great time many years ago. So there we go. That's my only Salman Rushdie connection. But don't know the man personally, but I do know his son. So there we are. Right. Josh Archer is Celia Imrie's son. Well, I didn't know that. That's an interesting fact. The boy who plays Tom Archer is the son of the person who plays his father, Tony Archer. So there we go. There's lots of bizarre connections in the Archers. But my favorite character has to be Lillian Bellamy, because she loves a gin. Cheers, darlings, as she always says. And she is a gin-aholic. And the actress who plays her, Sunny Osmond, is such a joy to correspond with. Such a nice lady, and always very pleasant on social media and all sorts of other things. I think Sunny Osmond is the star of the show. Obviously, there are many other great characters, and there've been some great villains also, obviously Rob Titchener being the worst. So there we are. Anyway, now there's nearly 50 of you here. When we get to 50, I will, because obviously I didn't announce this. I'm told by my tech guy I'm meant to do all this twittering and all the rest of it, but unfortunately, until I get my new computer, I don't have any of my passwords, because they're all on the computer, which I was very stupid not to print out the whole list of passwords. I stupidly thought, well, I'll save it on my thing, and it's on this iCloud, and well, I don't really know how to get on this iCloud, so I'm totally useless, and technology-wise, absolutely hopeless. And the phone is pretty much kaput too, so I'm getting a new phone, and my friend is going to be bringing them to me, so that will be wonderful, won't it? So getting a visitation, which will be superb. And you always like Salman Rushdie showing up in Bridget Jones' Diary. Sorry for the beeping. That is the WhatsApp, which I've managed to make work on the computer. This computer I've kindly borrowed from my lovely Scottish friends, and there we are. So, have you got off of my iCloud? I don't know. I have iCloud. I don't know how I pay for it, and it paid for itself yesterday, I think, or the day before, because at the beginning of the month they take the money, and I pay for an expensive iCloud because I've got so much bloody data. So it does come off that was paid for, and I need to work out how to get back into it. But the passwords I saved in a Word document, which is a very silly thing to do, because I should have just printed the Word document. But I normally write things in my notebooks, but I didn't know I'd be here this long, and I've not got all my notebooks with me. I've only got 2 notebooks. So most of my things I write down are in another notebook, which is not with me. So very stupid. Learn the lesson from me. Don't keep everything on your computer. Write it all down. I write down most things. And I do such, but unfortunately, if you don't travel around with all your notebooks, then you're a little lost. And I should always travel with all my passwords printed. I've got everything in one document, and it's a very comprehensive document. It's got loads of things that are completely out of date. But anyway, there we are. So there's a lesson in life. Anyway, there's over 60 of you here now, so we'll talk about this new development in the Madeline McCann case, and quite frankly, how predictable. That's what I will say. I'll begin by saying this is so predictable. Christian Bruckner, Christian B, is meant to get out of jail in September. Now, Christian Bruckner is one of the most repulsive people on the entire planet. He is a vile, disgusting man who raped tourists and elderly people. He did things he did things to 17-year-olds, 80-year-olds, all sorts of things. He is clearly a predator. He looks like a monster. He clearly is a monster, but they haven't been able to pin a single thing on him ever, on Madeline McCann yet, other than spurious claims from people who are never named, the witnesses who come out with things, and this latest one is just the same. Somebody told them something. The first week of lockdown, 2020, this was when Christian Bruckner was brought up as a suspect, because they wanted something to distract on the news from the COVID matter. And for 2 days, it wasn't just COVID, it was also the Madeline McCann investigation, Christian B. They found nothing. They searched here high and low. They've done it again and again. This German prosecutor, Walters, he goes on and on about this and how he thinks that he's got all the evidence he needs. Well, he's never charged the man, has he? So why has he never been prosecuted for this? And now they've sent 30 of what are called the BKA. It's like Germany's equivalent of the FBI, to go and search various locations. So that he lived in a cottage until 2006 near Praia de Luz. Madeline McCann went missing on the 3rd of May 2007. Yes, he was still in the area, and he has links to the area, and he has links to the nasty paedophiles of the area, and he has links to lots of awful things. But they are searching the cottage where he lived in 2006, supposedly the area around that. They're searching some scrubland near the sea. They're searching the Ocean Club, which of course is where Madeline McCann's parents were. Neglected their children and left the door open to the house, and were living it up la vida loca, having their tapas with the tapas, the tapas group, the tapas 9 or 7 or whatever they're called, and it's a walk down the hill. The door of the house opens onto a public road. It does not open into the resort. Between the house, the flat, and the club is a area of trees, so they couldn't see where the child was. And okay, they claim the group went and checked on all these poor children that were quite frankly neglected. They should have been charged with child neglect, a lot of them, every one of them. And it was, if their story is true, the child was taken. But why didn't they take the other 2 children, the twins, Amelie and Sean? Why just take her? If you were going to take these children, wouldn't you take them all? Or why would you pick her in particular? And that's a very strange thing. But anyway, they're searching that area. They're searching an area called Italia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a wooded area. They're going to search there. They've got about 20 locations they're going to search. They're going to spend about 3 days on this search, and they are using some kind of new technology that it's a new ground penetrating radar, which can scan up to 15 feet below the ground. Well, they're going to be searching ditches and trenches and all sorts of things, and well, you never know. They might find something. They might not. But This is all just following yet more money being given to the British police, to Operation Grange. What about the other missing people? What about Kerry Needham and her search for her son, Ben Needham? What about all the others? There are thousands of people who go missing a year and they don't get any help. This is an obsession, this case, with these people, and they cannot stop themselves. Sorry, if there's more of these silly notifications, I wish they would stop. But anyway, I hope it's not making too much noise in the background. But anyway, it's absolutely insane that they didn't hire a nanny for the evening, says Leslie S. The doctors, McCann, paid for childcare during the day. Why didn't they pay for it at night? They had the facility and the resort. They could easily have paid for that. And they could have, they could have taken it in turns to go out. One of them could have stayed at home and looked after the children. One of them could have gone off and joined the tapas, swing along tapas, swing into the tapas, if you know what I'm hinting at. They are very, very strange people. And they've never, ever explained why they didn't do that. Equally, in the days after the child disappeared, they went off and